guess.
Do you do the pod standing up or are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down on a bar chair.
I was about to say, you look like you don't have a back support there. You gonna be okay?
I was fine last time, yeah. All good.
All right. Yeah, dude.
Sit here for like 2 to 3 hours during the day, just like doing sessions and stuff like that.
Sessions? Oh, like creating training sessions?
Sessions up, yeah.
Damn.
Takes forever, but 9 sessions a week, 3 teams, 3 practices each. It's a lot, dude.
I assume you like recycle some like sessions or like parts of sessions. You can't just keep coming up with new things.
Yeah, usually just I like to keep it like interesting. I'll rarely do the same thing twice.
How can you can't just come up with 2 things forever though, or the new things forever.
You definitely can't forever, but the benefit of the doubt, or not the benefit of the doubt, the benefit is that other people are coming up with stuff all the time. I like to so I'll watch some of the inside trainings that Klopp does or Guardiola or Arteta, or an Ange, with the new Tottenham team. I don't know, they'll do stuff and then I'll kind of tweak it a little bit because obviously I know I don't have that level of talent. So whether it's field size, maybe make it a little bit bigger, or numbers, change the numbers, or I don't know. But I only have so many ideas, yeah. But maybe we'll get a sponsorship from Remarkable. Dude, I love this thing.
What is that?
You never seen Remarkable?
No, is it football specific?
No, it's it's like a tablet just for work purposes, but it's just really nice. You get a little pen, it's. People would say it's like an iPad, but it's like writing on paper, and it's just so much better looking to me.
Dang. Yeah, that does look nice.
There's no if I go outside, so obviously most of the games are outdoors, and you usually get that glare on iPads and whatnot.
Yeah.
It looks real clean, there's no glare or anything, and it's just, I don't know, I like it a lot.
Well, dude, we're just getting started, but we gotta, we're talking about the book side, and then you also have your soccer training side. We can make a whole empire.
That's right.
Between the 2 of us.
There's no shortage when it comes to ideas.
Yeah, bro.
What we could do. Look, like I told you, you come up with ideas not because they're just ideas, it's because something needs to happen.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, you just gotta. I was actually gonna say this to you. You should start writing down. I'm sure you have a huge list of them in your head already, just issues you have as being a soccer coach, what bothers you as a soccer coach. And then you just look at that list and start thinking, how can I solve this? And then that comes with products and services that you can, create and monetize.
If one of those solutions was become a soccer psychologist so you can get into some of these people's minds, that would be one thing. But dude, some of the negativity in youth sports, soccer specifically, as I'm around it every day, is mind-blowing. Just
what do you mean?
So we we'll play teams, or we'll have games coming up, and I don't want to get into any specifics, but
yeah,
just the negativity that surrounds it, and basically filling the minds of your own players with the idea that the team that you're coming up against is already better than them and they don't really stand a chance. And I just don't, I've seen it a lot, and I don't quite understand it as to why you as a coach, if you think of yourself as a high level coach, there's no way. I was having this conversation the other day. I was there's no way Pep Guardiola, Arteta, those guys, even the lower tier guys, your even a Marco Silva with Fulham or something like that, he's not rolling into a game thinking he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
He's thinking I'm good enough. As long as I'm here, we stand a chance. And what we worked on throughout the week and throughout preseason and whatnot should translate into getting a result in games against City and Arsenal. I just don't understand this whole mindset of blaming the players not being good enough. At some point, you got to look in the mirror and kind of be whose fault is it really that these boys aren't developing, or girls? But I could go on and on about it, but.
So that's a big issue. Coaches just blaming their tools rather than themselves, saying it's the player's fault.
I would say that's a big thing right now, and I haven't seen it. I had the opportunity to go to London last summer, and I was talking to a couple guys at the Tottenham Training Center, and I got to talk to a guy named Mike Hodge at St. George's who works for the English FA. And maybe it's just regional, the way that American mindset's a little bit different in different parts of the US. And I mean, I was in California with you for a while, and it just seems like there's a lot more optimism out there as to where I am now. But in England, the coaches, it was never about the player. They always thought that they could get the most out of whatever was in front of them. It was just the player had to be willing to work.
Yeah. I also think that those guys you were talking with are like professionals. They're the top. You know what I mean? Like that shows the top coaches are the ones looking at themselves thinking, how can I improve the situation, not the other way around.
Right. And then, but you have these guys in youth soccer who think they're better than those pro coaches and
Exactly.
don't think like that. So
that's
it's
never going to get there.
But that's I tell guys all the time the phrase dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Like if you're going to go somewhere and present yourself, you want to present yourself in a way like, hey, I don't want to be coaching 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids forever. The goal is to make it as far as I possibly can. So I'm going to act like that. I'm going to proceed like that when it comes to how I talk to parents, how I talk to kids, how I talk to directors of other clubs, you name it. Like I'm not going to be the type of guy who's going to go into the meeting the next week and my excuse is, oh, we were trying a new formation and the boys didn't understand it. Like, no, you're trying a new if you try a new formation, that's fine, but it's on you to put them in a position to understand it. So, I mean, again, I could go on and on about things, but.
No, dude, that's interesting. I was, did you see my Instagram story yesterday on the FutLit?
Which one was that? I saw the two posts that you posted, but I don't know if I saw your story.
Just about Grant Wall's book that I was reading.
Which book? Because I have one of
Masters of Modern Soccer. Have you read that one?
Is that the one where you had a bunch of interviews with a bunch of players? Do you have it in front of you?
I don't know.
I have it. I started reading. I think I got like 20, 25 pages in. My dad bought me a copy, like a signed copy.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I got to like the Pulisic interview, and there were a lot of good things that were said in that I have taken with me and kind of adopted. But what were you going to say about it?
I didn't really like the book. I basically read part of the Pulisic one, and this was me being biased. So I've read a decent amount of soccer books, and in general, just soccer in general, when an American says it, I'm just like, compared to when a British person says it. And I know that's so horrible, but like when I read soccer books written by British people, I'm just instantly like, well, first of all, they just sound more intelligent, you know what I mean? And just the fact that they're like European, I'm like, okay, I know what they're talking about. So that's just a bias I have in general. Like there was one book I really wanted to read and about soccer. It's called like 12 World Cups or 8 World Cups, something about a guy who traveled to a bunch of World Cups. And I really wanted to read it. And then I got the book and realized the author was American. And I was like, okay, and I've never touched it. I'm just like biased against
Euro snobs. You're one of those Euro snob American guys.
I am, unfortunately, and like I recognize it. But that being said, I was reading the Grant Wall book, and I didn't like it. I just felt like it was so simple. It felt like it was written for like children, like 8th graders. You know what I mean?
I mean, I will say Grant Wall. I mean, obviously, I've seen and read a lot of his things in like Sports Illustrated and whatnot early days. I guess when I was younger, but he's definitely a hit or miss type. Like. Some people like him and some people don't. There's no real like middleman type thing. Right. And I get what you're saying by it was like very simplistic, but then it also dives into the fact that he's having interviews with footballers who have been footballers for their entire lives. So you got to think about it and like, does he have to keep it simple for that reason and that reason alone?
I think that me not liking the book is more on me than on like him. I think it's probably like a decent book. It's more just my prejudices and things like that. I wasn't super interested in it, and I was like, this seems like something that'd be really good for like a middle schooler trying to like learn about Pulisic and about I don't know. And I feel bad because you said you got stuff from the book, so there's definitely probably things you can get from the book. It's more of on me, I think.
But the things I got from the book, I think you're kind of on. Like spot on. The things I got from the book are applicable to kids that are of that age range, right? So like Pulisic, I think he makes a comment. I'll probably butcher it, but he makes a comment in the book about how in Germany, when he first got to Germany, one of the biggest things that he had to learn how to do is play positive. And I preach that with a lot of the boys, and not positive from a positive like attitude wise, but positive by your first touch needs to be forward so we can play forward. Because I mean, you watch some of these MLS lifer guys who wind up in the national team and they're playing with these European guys. And I mean, Sebastian Lletget is one that stands out immediately. The guy, he started with West Ham, like early days youth career with West Ham. So he obviously grew up in an environment, but he's pretty much played a majority of his professional career in the MLS. And you see him getting these international games and he's always looking backwards. First passes backwards, his body's constantly facing backwards. He plays it safe. Whereas I feel like a lot of these guys who go over to Europe are learning to take risks and play more positive, and that you apply that to younger kids. And if the younger kids start to understand that at an earlier age, then I guess play becomes a little bit easier for them and more entertaining, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. And one thing that Wall said in the book was American coaches at the youth level like focus too much on athleticism over like skill. And you think that's have you seen that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been at a few clubs now ranging from like lower tier to higher tier. And I mean, coaching in ECNL now, which is, I guess, seen as a top level in the US. I mean, more so on the girls' side with me being on the boys' side. But you definitely see it when you go around and you play these teams and you hear about these players. And I don't like to be super judgmental of players who are younger because they're kids, obviously. And you never want to kind of pigeonhole them and put them in a box and make them think that this is how good they're going to be. You're a physical specimen, like you're just going to be the lump and run type player. But I think the fact of the matter is the game in the US, whether it be college, high school, club, it doesn't matter. So much emphasis has been put on winning that I think there comes a point in time where coaches almost have to abandon their philosophies and fall into these physical attribute type play styles, which this is why I lose some games, because I don't have those guys who are just Usain Bolt on the wing running up and down. But like obviously some teams you do have them, and there are times where if you're down 1-0, 2-1, whatever, and you do have to abandon your philosophies and be like, look, you got a kid who can get in behind the line and no one's going to catch him. You may as well use it.
Yeah, that exactly. But yeah, that only works to a certain extent. Once you get to like a certain level of quality, like players who can actually play on the ball, like will completely outperform players who are fast and strong, because they can't touch the ball.
I mean, just look at it. Like if even at the professional level, that physicality was above everything else, Adama Traore would win Ballon d'Or every single year.
That's literally, when we were talking about this, that's the guy who kept popping up in my head. I was like, if that guy could actually play, like he'd be so good.
And even then, like he's not like, the dude's in the Premier League, so he's obviously a somewhat decent player.
Yeah.
But I think it just goes to show, like you have guys like, I mean, I can't think of anyone like right off the top of my head, but you think of a guy who's not a physical specimen, like a Jordan Henderson type player. He finds a way to succeed because he's just a good all around player.
A name just popped up in my head that you remember Cal Luther and Chike.
Chike Johnson, baby.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, so he plays UPSL now for a team in Irvine. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was always like so athletic and such an athletic player, kind of like Traore, and it just sometimes seems like his feet couldn't keep up,
Yeah, I mean that was the thing his feet weren't. I mean, a player like that, his feet aren't moving at the same pace as his brain.
Yeah. No, which he was such an athlete, but yeah, the skill wasn't always there to like match it. But I mean, if he's playing UPS, what is it, UPSL? You said
it's UPSL. I mean, it's like 5th tier in the US. I mean,
hey, good for him. He's still playing though.
Yeah, look, if you can play, just as long as you are enjoying yourself, keep playing.
Yeah, dude, no, that's awesome. Speaking of playing, this was going to be the semi-professional, no, not even semi-professional. What are we? Just rec league.
We are regular human beings who are able to somewhat kick a ball decently well.
Retired college players still playing soccer. So
Right.
You said let's hear about your story. What happened?
Man, talk about being like fuming, dude. Even after the fact, I was like, I should not be this mad about it. But it's those type of things that kind of get under your skin because you're still that competitive person and you still want to have a little bit of competitive edge. I mean, I'm at the point now where I don't really enjoy playing in environments where people are taking it too seriously just because, I mean, I started playing when I was 3. I stopped playing in like a serious environment when I was like 24.
Mm-hmm.
So you spend all that time working and like working to keep up and put yourself in the best position to succeed at these levels. And then you get to a point where I'm at now where I'm like, I kind of just want to play for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I play at this little indoor spot right across the street from me. It's cool. Like it's kind of whatever. Met a few guys there, joined a league team. It's all in good fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or so I thought. So we had a game. We had a game this past Wednesday, and we're in the A League. Not to toot my own horn, but we're in the top division. Right. So you're coming up against guys who are former Division I players, and they played at IU, Indiana University. So Indiana University, for anyone that's familiar with college soccer, is like a really good school to play at. So okay. A lot of guys, they're in their 30s or whatever, but they're still good players. We weren't playing a team like that this week. We were playing a team with like some high school heroes on it, and we're up 6-4, and there's maybe 5 minutes left in the game. I get the ball, free kick, just got fouled, play it back to the keeper. Keeper gets the ball caught with his feet. Guy comes and presses, wins the ball, scores 6-5, whatever. We still we're in a good spot. We win the game. I sub myself out because I'm like, let's get these other guys on. Because I'm not the type of guy, don't even get me started on this, the guys who will stay in for 10, 15 minutes and not like rotate in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And then bring their girlfriends to the games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Joey, I don't know about you, but I'm just there to kind of ball.
No, yeah. Allie will sometimes come on like Sundays just to hang out. It's a nice day, but
exactly. But
I'm not like trying to show out for her or anything.
I'm talking full fan sections.
Oh no.
But anyways, it all fell apart after that because a mistake like that, you kind of just like head in hands, you don't know what to do, whatever. This guy who definitely, it seemed as though I had seen him at a few pickup games during the week, like he'll play and whatever. I didn't know he was on any league teams or whatnot. It seemed like they had just added him maybe, like he wasn't getting on with the guys well, but chirping the entire time. Their whole bench was chirping at the ref the entire time. I was like, God, what are we doing, man? Like they would diving in an indoor game, like looking for foul. And I was like,
what?
So this guy, 6'6", right? It's tied now.
Oh, so they scored, they tied it up?
Tied it up. And they got a 7th, right? They take the 7-6 lead. He had the assist on it, so he's kind of feeling himself now. Didn't do anything the whole game. Starting to feel himself now. And again, I feel so stupid even getting like upset about this, but he gets the 8th goal at the very end to close it out. He goes LeBron James celebration.
Oh.
Cut the neck with his tongue, and then sticks his tongue out like that. And I'm not even kidding. Yelled out to him, dude, you're like 35. What are we doing? Let's just say it didn't get a very good reaction out of everyone that was there. But it's just those types of things. There's not a whole lot of stuff.
LeBron.
I couldn't believe it. There's not a whole lot of stuff that upsets me and like gets me like heated. I couldn't believe it. Not a whole lot of things that get me heated in life. I'm pretty mellow, but stuff like that, just people taking themselves way too seriously, can't stand it.
Insane, dude. That's insane. Was he actually like 35 years old?
Dude, I don't know how old he was, but he's too old to be doing that. I don't care. Dude, you're playing indoor soccer on a Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. You have to wake up the next morning and go to your day job. Hey, how was your night last night? It was awesome, man. You should have seen me. What are we doing? What are we doing? I feel like Taylor Twellman. What are we doing?
Oh my gosh, dude. No, that's infuriating, David. Dang. Well, yeah, sounds like you had an eventful Wednesday.
It's definitely an experience. You got to tell me about your DC life of your outdoor intramural or whatever, or co-ed, or I don't know if it's co-ed, but.
So, I'll set the scene. Thursday night Sevens League playing. It's just every Thursday we play 7-a-side. And last night was playoffs. So you have the semifinals, and if you win that, you obviously go to the finals. And we were playing DCFC, which is kind of like, they're definitely the best team in the league. They're like one of the best teams in the area. They won like at least 1 or 2 games in the Open Cup last year. So like they're pretty solid.
That's not bad.
What'd you say?
I said that's not bad at all. It's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah. So I mean, it's obviously just like for fun. It's nothing serious, but like they're a solid team. And I've been in the like league for like 2 years now and never beaten them in 7s or 11s or anything. So solid team. But we go into the semifinal against them, and after about 10 minutes, they score. They're up 1-0. I'm like, all right, this could go one or two ways. You know, like this could open the floodgates, or we'll somehow like scrape a 1-1, and it goes after the final whistle straight to PKs. So that's what happens. Right before the end of the first half, I get the ball on the left side, dribble in, goal, golazo. No,
of course you did.
It was a decent goal. Just cut back. You know, it reminds me of, do you remember Neymar's first goal against Croatia at the 2014 World Cup?
Oh, you're testing me right now.
Just cutting across the top of the box, like parallel to the goal, and kind of just a roller to the like front post, basically.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those ones where like it's opening up perfectly, like curl it to the back post, and you can just catch everyone off guard by kind of reversing it back to that front post. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah. So yeah, tied it up 1-1 at halftime. Then play out all the second half, 1-1. Like it was intense. We had a lot of chances. They had a lot of chances. I think 1-1 in the end was like a fair result. So it goes to PKs. They go first. Oh, mind you, we have our buddy Ryan, who's usually a center mid, playing in goal. So we somehow only concede 1 goal the whole game. Go to PKs. He blocks the first one. Our guy steps up, scores. They step up, score. Our guy steps up, scores. Their guy steps up, scores. And it's only 3. And then it goes to sudden death. And then who steps up but your boy to take the third penalty? I walk up there. I set the ball down. The ref blows his whistle. I still don't know which way I'm going to go. I'm like, what's going to happen here? I run up. I shoot. I score. It was a fine penalty, but I went to my teammates afterwards, and I was like, I blacked out. I was like, which way did I go? Like, I literally...
Pressure was too much for you. The pressure was far too much for you.
It was, but I mean, I put it in the back of the net, thankfully, but I didn't remember. I blacked out. I didn't know which way I went. But so we made it to the final. That was nice. Get to the final. It's another good team.
Wait, so you beat that team?
We beat them. We won on PKs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Before you beat them. There you go.
Yeah, finally beat them. Go to the final against Gorilla. So they're a solid team. They're tall and like skillful. And it's a good first half. You know, I hit the crossbar once, but then with literally 30 seconds left in the first half, they score, and I was like, God damn it! I was like, that's it. I didn't have a lot of faith. But then second half, we're playing, and with like 10 minutes left, they score, make it 2-0, and I'm like, oh my gosh! All right, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not going to score 2 or 3 with 10 minutes left. But then Jamie, my buddy, scores, puts us 2-1. I'm like, okay, we're back in this. We got a shot. About 7 minutes left. I was like, we can do this. So then I get the ball on like the left side of the field. I'm like kind of like the last defender. There's one of my teammates like square to me. So I go to pass it to my teammate. Horrible pass. I passed it like right to their attacker. They go 1-on-1 with the keeper, score, put us down 3-1. And I was like, okay, well that's it now. That's it.
It happens.
But no, there's more. We score another one, 3-2, and we're like, okay, we are back in this. And with like 4 minutes left, our left back Steve pings a long ball across the field to Billy, who like insteps it back across, like kind of like a cross. But do you remember Vertonghen's goal against Japan, the header that just like loops over? Yeah. It's basically that. Comes in, hits the post in, 3-3, and we're like, oh my gosh, we did it. We're about to take this to PKs in the final. Like, this is insane. We just got to hold on. for like 2 more minutes. So we're just playing defense backs against the wall. And, they get like 3 or 4 corners in a row. We just can't, we keep clearing it back out for corners. Finally, we clear it. It comes to me. I'm about 30 yards out, space in front of me, 1 defender, and I have like 2 teammates streaking along, basically like a 3v1. And I'm just going, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. Screw it. Just pings it. Top left corner, 4-3. Champions, baby. Let's go.
Dude, it's the small things in life. It's the small things in life. Are we talking?
You know what? So I ping into the top left corner. I run to the sideline. I go. It was the best day of my life, dude. Best day of my life.
Are we talking full-size goals here, or are we talking the little mini ones?
So we usually with sevens, it's the mini goals, like the aluminum type goals. But this field, for some reason, it's basically the same height, but like wider.
Okay.
So usually on regular, it's pretty hard to score on the regular goals that we usually play on. These ones are a bit easier, which is even more impressive because we had a midfielder playing in goal.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so it wasn't like the tiny goals. I was able to. Keeper still had to like dive and make saves, you know.
Gotcha. I mean, major shout out to these guys who voluntarily get in goal at men's league games. I mean, we got a guy who, man, when you play against these actually good teams, takes a beating. The other day he got shot straight to the throat.
Oh God.
And again, just one of those situations where guy has to wake up in the morning and go to a 9 to 5.
Yeah, dude.
And it's
brutal.
Shout out to those guys.
But that like I said, my knee is a little messed up now. I think after the adrenaline wore off after the game, I texted my friend on the team who's a PT, and I don't think it'll be too serious. Hopefully, just gonna rest it. But yeah,
good. Body starts getting older. I went and played pickup. I don't know, probably a month and a half ago. Outstretched for a ball, didn't warm up. Outstretched, hamstring just goes.
Dang.
I was out for like 3 weeks. I kept trying to like come back, and it was just like, nah, not gonna work. You can't run, can't do anything. And I was like, that's my message where I'm getting old now.
Yeah. The other day earlier you were saying like how you just play for fun, and I was like, I am the same way. I just play. It's a successful day if I don't get hurt. You know, like as long as I can play and not get hurt, I'll take it.
I can't imagine coming back and explaining what happened.
Yeah, dude.
Ankle shattered. I'm explaining to people how I heard it at indoor soccer.
Yeah, gosh. I remember my parents played in the league, like an indoor league when they were like 40 or 45, just like with a bunch of other moms and dads.
Yeah.
And after the first game, I think 3 different parents, like 2 parents needed surgery, 1 needed PT, and they were just like, nah, this ain't it. So they stopped after 1 game.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. So you gotta play while you can, but you gotta also remember, it doesn't last forever.
That's right. I always said I'll stop coaching when I can't be the one who can demonstrate anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've always said, I think players respect a coach a lot more when they're able to do what they're asking the player to do. Whether that means like play a switch ball or something like that. Obviously, there's certain levels to it. Like you're probably not going to see freaking Carlo Ancelotti. The guy's still got some techers.
Dude, I was surprised I saw Sir Alex Ferguson with some techers the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But what you said about not being able to play anymore reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. You know, Arrigo Sacchi, the Italian manager.
Sounds familiar. Can't say that I know him.
He wasn't a player, but he was a manager, and a reporter asked him if he thought it was an issue, and he said, "You don't have to have been a horse to become a jockey." And I was like, that's a good way of thinking about it. And yeah, he was a very successful manager. I think won some champion or European Cups with AC Milan or something like that.
I mean, on one hand, yes. I mean, I say that, but then on the other hand, I mean, you got guys who, some of the best managers to ever play the game, or some of the best managers to ever manage, didn't play at particularly high levels. Like, I mean, you look at a guy like Arsene Wenger, like It's not like he played at a super high level, and guy goes on and invincible season.
Klopp as well, right? He didn't play super high level, did he?
Played at Mainz, so I
Oh,
mean, I guess you could say he was like a top tier player, but some of these guys played amateur.
Tuchel?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I feel like one of them didn't.
The big one is Maurizio Sarri.
The chain smoker.
Yeah, he just smokes cigs and wins games sometimes.
Yeah. What about the guy from France who's just playing Football Manager?
Oh, Will Still? Yeah, he's another one. He gave up. I think he was a decent player, like academy days, but I think he gave up soccer because he recognized he's not like. I think if I read it correctly, recognized like, hey, this isn't gonna be my pathway.
Did you say his name was Will Still?
Isn't it Will Still?
I don't know, but that's a sick name.
I'm pretty sure it's Will Still, the guy at
Will Still.
Stade Rennais or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I'm pretty sure Will Still. Yeah.
I don't know, but if that's his name, that's sick.
It's like fake. That's like a fake Football Manager regen.
Yeah, literally. That's funny. Yeah, that's crazy. That'll be you someday. You'll be getting fined because you don't have your license, but for some reason
that would be a great thing to happen. But we'll see.
Yeah. Well, dude, should we talk about the Prem that kicks off in 30 minutes? We should probably end this in 30 minutes so we can watch that game.
City Burnley. Let's hear our quick 30-second predictions of
5-0 City.
Oh.
Haven't you seen the meme that's like what always happens? Have you heard that meme?
What?
It's like a meme that every time City and Burnley play, it ends 5-0.
Is that right? Oh, wow.
It's just City just destroy them.
Way to sneak that in there.
I promise that wasn't on purpose.
You're so used to saying it, it's just natural.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, this is a new Burnley, I guess, the side itself, but just a new style. Like, I mean, as long as you don't have like a whole lot of knowledge on the game, when you think Burnley, you think Dyche, and you think hunker down, play for the counter, see if we can get a lucky goal from Dwight McNeil cutting in from the left wing, something like that. But I mean, with company in place now, these boys can play, and
yeah,
they kind of remind me of when Swansea got promoted to the Prem and they looked to actually play against teams like, yeah, Michu, that 2012, 2013 season where they're looking to actually play against teams rather than do the traditional, which you'll probably see with like a Luton Town or a Sheffield United. Don't even get started on Sheffield, selling all their best players. Like, they're going to finish with like 6 points. But I don't know. I think prediction, if I had to say, I think if anybody knows Pep's game, it's former players, and company being one of them. Maybe he has a few tricks up his sleeve to dissect his system. I don't think City looked particularly good in the Community Shield. I mean, they obviously didn't win, but City always starts off every season pretty slow.
That's what I was going to say. City are known for that.
Right, it happens. So, I mean, I think City probably wins. If I had to give a score prediction, I'll say 3-1 City. I say Holland probably gets one, and then the other two could be from anyone on that squad. But yeah, I think Burnley keeps it close in the first half. I could see it being 1-1 at half and then a 3-1 final. City figures it out, makes some adjustments at halftime. But I also wouldn't be shocked if Burnley pulls a result in the game and starts the Prem season off top of the table.
Yeah, they take over. Who's top right now? Isn't it like Aston Villa? Whoever's the A team. Yeah. Maybe it's AFC Bournemouth. I don't know.
I think it's Bournemouth, yeah.
But yeah, if I had to give a prediction, I'd say 3-0 City. But I agree. The thing about City always starting slow, that does play on my mind. And company being a former player from Pep, so you never know. But I don't know. If I had to pick, I'd say 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, I did pretty solid prediction. It should be a good game nonetheless. First day of the season, everyone's energy levels are going to be pretty high. I think that may play to Burnley's side more so because some of these City guys. You have Rodri coming out last week and saying, Dude, I'm not going to be able to play 55, 60 games this year. So it's almost, is Pep losing the locker room?
Doubtful. But
Oh.
can we run through top 5 predictions for the season? Because top 5 makes Champions League, right?
Well, they're saying with the new coefficient rules or whatever, league coefficient rules, it's going to be 5 here like next season or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's this season, right? Or no?
Is it? I didn't know if it was the new Champions League platform now where it's a league structure rather than group play, which
Yeah.
I don't particularly like. I think that group stage, it makes it more exciting. You get some of these teams that come in and manage to win games. Have you seen that Icelandic side or Faroe Islands, that team from the Faroe Islands?
They're in the Champions League?
They're like, I think they made the third round qualifiers or something. They're one step away from group play. They just who'd they beat? Oh, I can't remember. But I think I think they beat that Ferencvaros team or whatever.
Agree.
Yeah, I think they beat them to advance to the third qualifying round, which is pretty impressive for like a city of like 5,000 people.
Only thing is now they'll probably have to play like Celtic or something.
Yeah, they'll probably get smashed when they get there, but hey, never know. Let's see your top 5 though. Let's hear it.
All right, so
we gotta post edit. We gotta put. Psh, psh, psh.
Yeah, I can do that. All right, so top 5 predictions. Not a hot take here. I think City will take first.
Okay.
Maybe a hot take here. I think it'll go back to the old days from a few years ago. Liverpool battling for second.
Okay.
Then I have United at third, Arsenal in fourth, and then I'm a homer, baby. Tottenham in fifth. Let's go.
Dude, I'm saying that I mentioned it last time we spoke, but that Gift Orban guy as Harry Kane's replacement.
Yeah.
I think his stat is, I mean, obviously he's playing in the Belgian league, but 27 goals in 22 games or something like that. He just scored a hat trick last week.
Yeah.
20 million. Easy peasy. Get him in. But yeah, I mean, I don't put it. I think everyone's been a little too harsh with Tottenham. I think with Tottenham losing Kane, obviously with that being confirmed, don't cry too much. But I think with Kane leaving, it obviously stunts them a bit. But then you call into question, are they going to be not so reliant on one guy in front of goal now? You still got Son, who is a incredible player. I mean, Kulusevski is good enough. So some people talking about Tottenham being outside of the top 8. I think that's a little outrageous, but that's just me.
I think it could go either way. I think we could get 5th. I think we could get 15th. No, not that bad. But like, I think it could be anywhere from 4th to like 11th.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not out of the question. You have Chelsea finishing bottom half of the table last year. It's not crazy to think that could happen if things go south. I mean, some people think Ange is going to be the first manager to go before Christmas. I like him. I think he's actually going to do quite a few good things with that squad when he gets his type of personnel in place. But I don't know.
Can't fire him before Christmas. Like, you got to give him time after losing Kane, and like, it's just, you got to give him time, you know.
I agree. I mean, if you listen to these social media experts, Arteta wouldn't be the Arsenal manager anymore. So
True.
Just goes to show sometimes giving managers time pays off. But
True.
I say my top 5. I mean, last year I said Arsenal would win the league. I said it in August that Arsenal would win the league.
Why would you say that? That's crazy. I mean, it almost worked out, but
I think I was just so high on them after their All or Nothing Amazon thing. They seemed really like together, and they had stuff sorted out, and they all backed the manager, and the manager finally got his type of players in with Gabby Jesus and Zinchenko, and so I think 1 through 5. I'll start from 5. I'll go to 1.
Okay.
Backwards. So I think 5. I think we're looking at Newcastle. I think we're still seeing a top 5, top 6 finish from them. I think with the way they played last year, they've only added more reinforcements, bringing in Tonali. So he's going to shore up that midfield. I mean, now you've got Tonali and Bruno, who could be gone in the wintertime. You never know. But I got them 5th. I think Brighton cracks the top 4. I know that might sound crazy. I do. I know that might sound crazy. But I just think with a full preseason of De Zerbi and his ability to, dude, he came in last season and what did they finish? Seventh last year, sixth?
Yeah.
So they're not far off of it. The squad's healthy.
They're losing their top players.
Who is top players in your eyes for them? Caicedo?
Sterling Caicedo.
Yeah, but I think they'll turn around, and I think a good player for replacement is that Lavia guy, Romeo Lavia from Southampton. If they're able to use that Caicedo money and go and get him from Southampton, I think it's not a far off replacement.
Yeah.
So I think they can crack top four. I think he's one of the best managers in the world, in my opinion.
All right. Well, I'm interested to hear the other three then, because that means either City, United, Arsenal, or Liverpool don't make it.
Yeah, that's true. I think third place we're looking at Liverpool. I think they're a shoe-in for top four finish. I think Klopp is. I mean, Darwin Nunez didn't pan out last year. I think they expected more of a Haaland-esque, or at least 60-70% of what Haaland gave for City. And I think if they can get him clicking with the rest of the group, I think they're in a better spot. You get Jordan Henderson and James Milner out, which I think are going to be bigger losses than people expect. Because I think those two guys, you look at those two types of players, and they probably ran the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Highly influential players involved, and Milner being the type of workhorse that he is, you're able to throw him on in a game, and he just lifts the rest of his teammates up. So I don't see a top two finish. I don't think Salah at this point, and Nunez and Luis Diaz and Gakpo. I don't think they have enough firepower to last through the season with the way that Klopp is going to expect them to play with their high press system and counterattacking. I mean, they're one injury away from being outside the top four. It could happen that quickly. Salah goes down, that team is in the dumps.
Jeez, maybe I need to revise my lineup or my table now. Jeez, you're convincing me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not so sure about them in second place anymore.
I'm not. I think they finished top three. I'm not completely sold on them being in a battle. Like I think it could be top two, just like it was last year, going back and forth, and then third place is maybe 9 to 10 points off.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see with the season starting here in 20 minutes, but I think second place. This is tough because it could go one way or another. If Arsenal gets a 9, if they've managed to get a 9 in, because I think you look at Gabby Jesus, he's the type of guy who is good enough for the Premier League. I think we can all agree he's good enough for the Premier League, but there's a reason he wasn't the number 9 for City.
Yeah.
Can't stay healthy, number 1. And 2, I just don't think he's a game in, game out type player. I don't think he's going to give you 30, 32 games a season and scoring 26, 27 goals. This is not going to happen.
He's not Kane or Haaland or Salah. He's not that level.
Yeah, like if Arsenal had gone and added Kane to the mix, they win the league. Not in my mind.
Sick.
But I think I'm going to stick with Arteta. I think I'm going to stick with Arteta winning the league and City finishing second. I think they flip it. I think Saliba stays healthy. I think their back four stays more structured. I think if Saliba doesn't go down last year, they win the league. They had too much of a gap that if they were just able to hold on and get a result in a couple games that they didn't get, I think they win the league. So I got Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Brighton, Newcastle.
Jeez, dude. Yeah, I can't say I agree, but we'll see who's right at the end of the season. I think Arsenal are bottle jobs, dude. Like the past 2 seasons, they bottled top 4 2 years ago, and then last year the title. But who knows? Maybe they've matured, and I sure hope they get like 8th this year. But we'll see.
Oh, I mean, yeah, with you a Tottenham fan, but the tide turns at some point. I think. I don't know. I'm not sold on United yet. I just don't see it, and then I don't think there's too much going on at Chelsea for them to turn that ship around that quickly. I love Poch. You obviously are very fond of him, but a great manager, but I don't know if he turns the ship around that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. That's why I'm saying you got to give Ange time unless it's like horrendously bad. But
Right.
with any manager, like, I just feel like sometimes you have to pull the trigger, obviously, but it's too quick these days. Like, Arteta was given time, and look at him now. Like, Poch was given time at Tottenham. Look what he did. Like,
Yeah.
managers need time.
Look
Which
at Rob Edwards. Look at Rob Edwards at Luton. The
yeah,
dude, 9 games at Watford. 9 games.
jeez,
They
that's
sacked him, and now
insane.
he got Luton up to the Premier League. So
Yeah, jeez. Yeah. So just to all the club managers or club owners out there, give your managers time
that's
if you're
right.
listening.
They're gonna
Listen
see
to Joey
this.
and Gabe.
They'll see this at some point.
Yeah, they will. One day when we're massive. Dude, I need to figure out how to post the full podcast, but I posted some clips and we got some love. So hopefully we keep getting more and more love. We got a few likes and stuff. So
That's what I like.
appreciate everyone who watched. And yeah, we'll.
Shout out to all our fans out there. We all know you're watching.
Sir, yes, sir.
Send us in your top 5 predictions. Send us in
Yeah.
your bottom 3 predictions. Let's hear what you think.
Yeah, and should we do Golden Boot as well? Who do you? I mean,
Golden Boot.
you're not gonna go with Holland because you're just like that, right?
I mean, is he gonna replicate the year that he had last year? That'd be tough.
That'll be tough. Yeah.
Be really, really tough. I think you got to go Holland again.
Yeah, it's hard to not go Holland here.
I will say dark horse. I will say a player that's I think his output this year is gonna be really high is Ollie Watkins with Aston Villa.
Yeah, I've seen. I do fantasy Premier League. I saw a lot of people have him in their lineup.
He's one of those guys. He scores everywhere he's been. With Aston Villa under Unai now, they seem to be a little bit better. I mean, they lost Buendia. They lost Buendia to an ACL injury, so it's going to be a big loss. But who knows? It should be an interesting season, just like everyone else is. But I'm ready.
Excited. We're just 17 minutes away from kicking off. So should we end it here for today?
I think we're golden. I'm glad you said they play at 3 because I totally forgot about it again. I forgotten about it and remembered it like 10 to 12 times today.
Nice, dude. Well, glad I was able to help you remember again. But yeah, dude. Thanks to everyone who watched either the full thing or the clips. We appreciate it, and we'll have plenty more coming. Exactly, David. Exactly. Nice, dude. Any parting words?
Nope. Just keep laughing and keep loving. Make the world a better place.
Look at that. Let's go, Gabe. What a way to end it. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time. Peace.